attaching clay to each other is a little bit more complicated than just pushing it together. Two smooth pieces of clay that are wet will cling to each other, but there's really nothing grabbing onto each other to hold that together. So when it air dries, even if you push the edges together, when it air dries, it'll fall apart. So you need to create bonds to grip the two sides together. So the process to attach clay together is score, slip, secure, and smooth. 4 S's. Score, slip, secure, and smooth. Scoring. You're going to use one of these rake tools. It looks like a little rake. And you're going to rough up both parts of the clay you're going to attach. So you have to decide where your handle is going to attach to your scoop. Some of you might have the scoop coming up. Some of you might have the scoop on top. Some of it might go right underneath. Maybe you would curve the handle like a traditional spoon would have a curve underneath. It's really up to you where you want it to be. So figure out your angle and figure out where it's going to go. And when you know that, the place where it's going to connect, you're going to rake it on both sides that you're connecting. So that's score. Slip is clay-filled water. It should be cloudy or a little bit yogurty, but as long as there's a little bit of clay in there, it will do. Okay, so you can use your finger, or in your toolboxes there should be some brushes. You can put it on there. Not too much, you don't want to drown it. Just a little bit, brush some on. Score, slip. Now place it together. Now secure. There's different ways to secure. Normally you can just sort of gently push the edges together, but because this is such the main part of the structure, we're going to secure by using thin coil. Coil is a rolled out rope or snake of clay. Okay, so I'm going to make a thin coil, and I want the front to be a little bit smooth, so I'm going to use this on the back. Now, I don't want to bend my handle when I move it around, so watch when I flip it over that either I put it directly on the table or I rest it in my hands carefully, not letting this bend too much. But I'm going to flip it on the side, on the back. I'm going to take this, put it on the sides and the back. Okay, now that looks ugly and it's not really doing much right now, but I'm going to use that. I changed my mind. I'm going to hold it in my hand so it aligns better. We want one of these plastic tools. Okay, sometimes they have a texture. Don't use a textured side. You want to use the nice rounded smooth side. Always wet your tools, they glide over the clay better. And to secure, we're going to go into the middle of the coil and push up, middle of the coil, push down, middle up, middle down. You're using this to fill in the gaps in the clay and to push the edges together as best as possible. Now the front, because it's the front and I want it to look even better, I'm going to make a little bit of a thinner coil, even thinner than I was using. Just a very thin one for the front. But same idea, middle up, middle down. Okay, so that's score, slip, secure. Now that's on there pretty well, but it kind of looks a little ugly because you see all the tool marks. So the last step is smooth. Score, slip, secure, and smooth. So a little bit of water on your finger, and you want to just very gently push out or smooth in the tool marks. Notice how as I turn it, I keep it straight on my arm. A little bit of water goes a long way. Don't add too much water. So now I have a spoon that is attached.